What up guys, welcome back to the channel. Stay tuned. I got a few things I want to talk to you guys about, but as you can see, the neon green alien looking Jeep thing behind me, I went ahead and decided that the red Jeep that I bought from Copart needed a few extra suspension parts and gearing that I just didn't want to invest money into that Jeep, and it was a manual, which means that Katie couldn't drive it basically at all. She had no interest in learning how to drive it, and I thought it was a hassle to drive off-road. So while I was looking for some axles or gearing to do for the Jeep, I came across a guy that was willing to sell his axles out of this Jeep, and we had a deal that I was gonna swap axles. And when he came over, I liked the Jeep so much I offered to buy it, and we ended up trading my Jeep for this Jeep and a little bit of cash on my end, but I ended up with a Jeep that is completely done, basically. And I couldn't help myself. We went to Disney, Oklahoma this past weekend, and I bought the Jeep on Thursday. And honestly, this Jeep just did everything I could ever possibly want it to do. It was unbelievable, but I didn't get any video of it. It was something I just wanted to go out, focus on the Jeep, not trying to make any video content for it. So now that I've done that and I know more about the Jeep, I wanted to share it with you guys and kind of just go over this Jeep because it does need some things. And so we are going to have another video series on a Wrangler again, which the last one was really fun. So this one needs more cosmetic, minor mechanical things versus basically needing re-geared. And the red Jeep had things that I just didn't want to do because they were going to be costly. This Jeep has more cool things to do. Like it has AC, but the compressor needs replaced. So I've gone ahead and ordered that. And I've also ordered the whole vacuum and gauges, all those tools that I need so I can do the vacuuming and getting the AC working myself, because I'm also going to be doing my mother's car this coming weekend. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to make a video of that as well for you guys, just because I've never done it, and so it's gonna be a learning thing for me. So if you wanna see me do that, stay tuned. But let's go ahead and just kind of jump right into this alien green colored Jeep. And it is called Alien Green. He gave me the gallon of paint that he had custom painted for this Jeep. Let me go ahead and flip the camera around so you guys can see a little bit more of this Jeep. Here we have the front of the Jeep. Right off from the front, the stance of this Jeep is super wide. It has 35-inch by 12.5-inch tires on it. I believe these are 15-inch rims, and so those tires alone just look massive. It does have quick disconnect sway bars on it. The winch and winch mount came from the red Jeep. I ended up having to use it this weekend, and that thing is just a lifesaver. I did go ahead and throw a new steering dampener on it, and this Jeep also has 513 gears on it. It just wants to crawl over anything without even touching the gas. And I've never had anything geared like this, and it is very different to get used to it. Off-roading, that is the way to go. I would say that this Jeep has short arm suspension lift kit on it. All of the bars are adjustable. I was told that it's a short arm. I don't know the difference between a long arm and a short arm. And so if you do know that, go ahead and leave it down in the comments. And I need to do some research about it, but hey, I always love to hear from you guys. So definitely leave a comment down below. The front bumper did come on this Jeep, and that is a crazy looking bumper. I really like how that looks. Now, like I said, this is alien green, and it is by far my favorite color I've ever seen on a vehicle. It does have the front and rear fender deletes. It does have the metal underneath of the doors. I would call that basically, well, I I don't want to call it a rot slider because it doesn't go underneath of the vehicle. I guess it's not a rot slider. Now, it also has a 2-inch body lift on it, and Mason went ahead and chopped off the muffler because that's basically his signature move on just about every vehicle ever, is he can't go 3 hours without cutting the muffler off. But we did have good reason for this. The muffler was spraying out, or the exhaust was spraying out a lot of black, like oil is basically what it looked like. It sprayed it all over this area as well. It sprayed it on my back door, or my hot water tank door back there. We kind of thought that it might be water sitting in the muffler, so he went ahead and chopped that off, and we did a turn down. It's still doing it. You can kind of see it all over the floor from starting. It just happens when you start the vehicle. So if you guys know what would cause that, go ahead and leave that down in the comments as well. The Jeep is missing the mirrors, and I did go ahead and order a pair of those. The soft top is in great condition. It currently is missing the sun visor. I have the sun visor, but the main clip that holds it is broken, so I have to decide if I'm ordering a new one of those. It does have the stock seats in it that have been stained, and they're not in the best condition. So the guy that traded me the Jeep also gave me these best, I believe they're best, they might be best top seats. I'm not sure about that, but I believe it's best something. These seats do not bolt in. They did not bolt in perfectly to the stock bracket, so I ended up having to modify that and weld in the bracket. I did one seat. I have not done the other seat clearly, so I will be doing that and making a video about that. So if you're interested in that, subscribe and stay tuned for that. I do know they sell brackets for this, or for these seats, and they're like 200 bucks, and that is crazy. The Jeep does also have the back seat from the red Jeep. He did give me that, and this Jeep is a 98 while my Jeep was a 2004, and so I did have to tack weld those brackets in. They do need to be bolted still, so I will have to do that. And it does have the soft top doors, and so the window is folded down. The gauge cluster doesn't work at all, so I've already ordered a new one, and it will be here this weekend, so I will be making a video of replacing that as well. Working my way down to the back, I really like these Fender Deletes. This is what we wanted to do on the red Jeep. It does not have a spare tire for this Jeep. It has an 1.25 inch hitch for it. I probably will be switching this out to a 2-inch. I do know they sell adapters for it, but I'm not really okay with that, so I'll probably be switching it over to the 2-inch. I really like the circle tail lights. I think it looks pretty cool, being kind of like old-fashioned looking. Overall, the Jeep is just really cool looking. Let me go ahead and pop the hood for you guys. So here we have, right off the back, it looks like it's a K&N cold air intake, but it does have a Fram filter. So I don't know if this is actually K&N or if that's just a sticker. It looks like it has a new radiator in it. We do have a leak in the power steering box, I guess you could say. It looks like it's leaking from the pitman arm. That might be the correct words for that. You can kind of see the stain down below. So might have to do a rebuild kit on that. I did go ahead and put a new alternator and a new battery in it this weekend before we went out. I had it tested and they both were bad. I just went ahead and replaced it, and I didn't argue. This battery was 9 years old, so it was definitely time for a new battery. Now, the AC condenser, my fault, this is a compressor. I did go ahead and I replaced the alternator and the battery before we went out this weekend. Both of them were bad. This AC compressor, it sounds like the bearings are bad, and they did go ahead and bypass the compressor with a new belt. So I did go ahead and order a new compressor. So it will be here hopefully this weekend as well. And I will go ahead and get that switched over. So if you want to see that, subscribe. But what makes this Jeep really cool is that it has an Arb air locking system in it. It has front air lockers, and that's the compressor, basically is how that operates. Now, I didn't know anything about air lockers before this Jeep showed up. And I did a little bit of research on it, and it is very cool. I used it this weekend, and I was able to get up some crazy hills. We will probably be going back this weekend if the weather's not too bad, and we will go ahead and try to get some video content for you guys. And if you've never seen Disney, Oklahoma, I've only been there 3 times, and I have yet to experience any of the big stuff at Disney. So, well, the reason we haven't experienced anything is because it's always been raining. And so most of the park was flooded. This time we ended up getting around the river or dam river. We were able to get around it and get a little bit more into the trails, and that was really cool. So definitely, if you're anywhere nearby, I would check Disney out. Overall, it has grab handles. Overall, this Jeep is very cool. I love this color. I would love to get some matching bead locks for it at one point. We do have some aftermarket headlights coming for it with the blinkers in the headlights, because the blinkers for this is currently right there and you really can't see it. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Jeep up on the car lift and replace front and rear brakes on this. They have brakes, but after going down like a 70-degree hill this weekend, kind of decided that maybe we should look at replacing them. So I'm gonna go ahead, set you guys down, and start swapping those out. Alright guys, I didn't realize how late it has gotten, so I decided I'm going to go ahead and do the brakes tomorrow. But we got a lot more parts coming this weekend. Hopefully you guys like the Jeep as much as I do, and definitely, hopefully you guys want to see more content of this Jeep. So I will have a lot more of it coming out soon, so definitely subscribe and hit that like button. If you guys can't tell, I have a different camera. This is a G7X Mark II. Now, I decided to go with the Mark II just because it was a little bit cheaper, and I know it's a very popular vlog camera, and I do a lot of videoing inside the garage, and so I figured the microphone that it has on it would be good enough. But tell me down in the comments kind of what you guys think of it. I have been using an iPhone 11 Pro, and it's super easy to use. It's way less complicated than this camera, but I can't get the videos off of my iPhone as easily as I should be able to with this, having an SD card. I've been editing with iMovie, which is super simple, but I feel like I can't get all the editing that I want to do on it, and I've never edited videos before, so it's kind of a learning process with me as well. So hopefully my future videos will be getting better with every one. Stay safe and subscribe, hit that like button, and I will catch you guys in the next video.